and Rupa Mohan. Thank you.
Hello and greetings. Today, I'd like to introduce you to a very diligent and most hardworking entity in my home. Not my husband, not my daughters, not me for sure, not even the little pet dogs that my daughters have. Something even smaller, tiny, smaller than a fly. Yes, it's something called a brine shrimp. How many of you have heard of a brine shrimp? Well, I didn't know anything about brine shrimp. In fact, about 8 years ago, my daughter was at school in Boston, requested the shrimp as a birthday gift. And all I did was order the shrimp. They came in a dome, she said, which was totally sealed and had a whole ecosystem with plants and some vegetation and pebbles. And she was thrilled to receive these. She gave these 6 little shrimp, which were under half an inch long. She gave them names and she said they cheered her up through the bleak winters in Boston. And of course, as expected, within the next couple years, the shrimp started to disappear. She called me and she was sad. And I reacted saying, rest in peace to the shrimp. And a few years later, year number 4, when she was getting ready to graduate, I went to Boston and for the first time, I met the last surviving shrimp. There he was, swimming vigorously in the little dome, so active and so full of energy. And I was so impressed and so happy to make his acquaintance. And my daughter had named him Shrimpy, assuming it was a male shrimp, which tend to be smaller than the females. And she packed this dome very carefully and she flew him all the way to San Francisco, wondering what would happen to him with the turbulence on the plane or the pressure change. Well, thankfully, he landed in San Francisco as energetic and happy as ever. And he sat in her apartment, swimming vigorously in that sealed dome. And he witnessed some happy things in her life, including her marriage with another shrimp lover. Well, as time went on, we were hitting year number 6. This was turning out to be a miracle. And my daughter and her husband were relocating to Singapore. And I was put in charge of keeping this shrimp. I was a little reluctant, having killed many house plants by then, but I didn't have a choice. And I inherited this dome, the same dome that I had bought her about 6 years ago. And this dome sits on my shelf, a dark shelf in my home. And every now and then I look into it and do a wellness check because my daughter calls and asks how Shrimpy is doing. He seems to be doing well, as energetic and vigorous as ever, working hard to stay alive despite losing all his companions and being the last one standing or swimming. Well, it is amazing that this shrimp in shrimp years may have outlasted Ramses, Abraham, even Bhishma, the grand sire from our Hindu epic, the Mahabharata. They all lived for hundreds of years. And I think he's trying to catch up with Noah. Yes, Noah from the ark. And I am so thrilled to see that he is alive and well. And as active as ever. So when I look at him, I wonder what keeps him going. He could have gotten lonely and fallen dead among all the pebbles and the vegetation. But I think he is working hard to be strong and resilient. And he is indeed a miracle, grandsire of all shrimps. Thank you.